Welcome to the Monday Kickoff, everyone. Hope you guys are having an amazing start of the week. As usual, in today's video, we're going to have a full breakdown of all of the events coming to Raid Shadow Legends this week. So if you guys want to keep up to date with news, guides, tips and tricks, and everything else related to Raid Shadow Legends, make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. And drop a comment, help with that YouTube algorithm. It seems like we are starting the week on a very good note, guys, because Plarium actually dropped us a gift. So we have the Siege gift right here. Make sure you guys log in to be able to claim all these. So we're going to have one of these chests, which are meant to be kind of like the biggest scam in terms of offers. We're going to get 1000 energy, 5-star chicken, legendary skill tome. So hell yeah, I'm all in for goodies like this. Give us more Plarium, please. And I actually managed to get a very awesome piece of gear, mythical cruel piece. But I might show it to you in a second. Then, of course, we have everyone's favorite game mode. Clan versus Clan starting tomorrow. This time around is not featuring personal rewards, and the actual milestone rewards seem to be pretty standard. We have crit damage gear, we have reflex, but nothing too extraordinary in here. Of course, we will have summoning events, and honestly, I am a bit surprised. I'm actually a bit shocked to see what champions we have on these events, because I was expecting to see some different champions, but hey, maybe they're gonna do it this weekend. We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to get to the champions in just a second, guys. First, I just want to walk you through everything else. Now, we do have a surprise summoning pool right here at the Altar of Souls. And I got to say it, we do have some very nasty champions in here. Rotos, Arbiter, you have Nut, you have Taras, you have Akrisia, UDK, you have Wallmaster, you have Wixwell, you have Wukong, you have a lot of amazing epics and legendaries, okay? Like, even at the epics, look at this. You have Oboro. That's kind of like what I'm dreaming of. A 6-star Oboro would be absolutely god tier. So hopefully with the free summons that we're getting, I'm going to be able to make that happen. Now, free summons. Again, they're not really free. We do have a Sand Devil turn attack tournament that started today, guys, and they inflated the points a bit more for the summon. So if you are farming stage 25 with a fast team, you're gonna probably need around 2.2, 2.3k energy to get this done. You're getting a summon from here. Last time I got a 6-star Sifi from it. The previous time I got a 6-star Brogni. So oh my god, if the luck continues, you know what? I'll be happy with something juicy at 6-star. But the chances are not that great. You can actually check the chances right here. That's what you're having. 5.5% to get a legendary at 6 stars. So that's a pretty low chance, to be honest with you guys, considering the price of these summons. So basically, you're going to get 5 summons for 25 bucks, which is pretty damn disgusting. It's very expensive, you know, very expensive. I wouldn't really suggest you to spend money on this, but up to you guys what you're doing with your own money. Then, clan quests, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to have the reset. Make sure you guys are completing them. Seems like I still have to do one. If you haven't bought the things from the clan shop, again, make sure you guys are doing it. Whatever you are purchasing from here, regardless if it's a legendary skill tome or you might get accessories or chickens or something else, keep an eye on it. And we do have the fusion that will end this week. Now, expect on Friday to have a pet event for this fusion, guys. Probably they're going to give us a soul. It might be a 5-star soul. I feel like last time when they've made a Path of Light event, they actually made it really nice because you were able to pick from perfect souls, 3 stars, 4 stars, or 5 stars. So depending on what resources you had available, you were able to pick. Now, personally, I'm definitely planning to skip this unless I need to open shards for some specific champions. But if no, I'm definitely not going to engage. In terms of other events that are expected to start this week, guys, as you may notice, there's only one event giving us a summon for this Desired Soul Summon Pool event. Just one, and that's the Sand Devil's turn attack, nothing else. And yes, this most probably, it will change on a Thursday or Friday, the calendar. That's when we're going to find out what other events we're going to have throughout the week and for next week. This week, we are expecting to have most probably a 15x progressive chance, unless they're planning to do a 2x on primals, which I really doubt it. We had 2x on sacreds this weekend. I'm surprised that we haven't got a 1+1 on sacred shards now for CVC, but hey, let's dive straight into the main topic, guys. These are the champions right here on on the screen. If you want to pause, take a screenshot, up to you. But let's quickly dive in into the champions. So we have Matias Blackveil. Not a big fan of this champion. He does seem pretty interesting on paper. His damage is pretty underwhelming. You do have a 4-turn cooldown taunt, increased resistance, reflect damage, AoE attack, ignores some of the defense. I'm just not a fan of the champion. I've tested him. The damage feels pretty underwhelming. I'm surprised that the reviews are as good as they are to be on him. Yes, he can be nice for the Fire Knight, 100% with the passive and the battle skill, but I feel like that's about it. Reflect damage is good as well for the Fire Knight, by the way, in case if you were not aware of it. I wouldn't personally summon for this champion on the 15x, but most probably I would summon for the next champion on the 15x, and Feral the Barkhorn, guys. Absolutely insane in the Hydra clan boss. He just brings so many things to the table. Let's start with the passive. 4 buffs increases the damage by 20%. 2 buffs, you get resistance. 3 buffs, you get accuracy. The A1 decrease speed. The A2, AoE attack with decreased accuracy and block buffs. The A3, increased resistance and perfect veil. Which means that your champions, guys, can easily get the job done with like 200 plus accuracy, 300 plus resistance on Nightmare. Okay, that's how impactful this champion can actually be. It's actually nuts how many things he brings to the table. Absolutely one of my most favorite champions for the Hydra clan boss in terms of support. So that's definitely a champion that is worth putting on a 15x if you want to try your luck, of course. Then we have Giat, the Truth Shield. Not feeling her too much either. I've tried her with crazy gear. She was able to do as much damage as a Seer on the waves. Basically, attacks all enemies before attacking, increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, and the damage is inflicted by 1 turn, and the damage inflicted by this skill increases by 5% for each buff that had its duration increased. So one, you're gonna need to set up a lot of buffs, and then of course you're gonna have to nuke with her too. Now the problem is that she's been on too many 15x progressive chances already. I think this might be the 3rd if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure why they keep pushing this champion, because let's be honest, it's just nothing too spectacular with her in my opinion. I feel like she's a mid-tier sort of legendary. She might sound a bit more interesting, but unfortunately it's very hard to gain value out of this champion. Moving over to the next one, we have Owella. She was a fusion in the past. Pretty good champion. You're getting turn meter, you're getting increased resistance, increase the duration of buffs, you're getting healing, the A1 decreased speed, resistance aura for dungeons, and the passive, basically whenever an ally loses 15% of their max HP, it will gain a continuous heal buff on the ally for 1 turn. Is a pretty nice champion, is a good support. I'll be very honest with you guys. She's not OP or anything like that, but she's definitely gonna give value to pretty much everyone using her, especially progression-wise. Moving over to the Voids, and that's where I'm super surprised, shocked, that we have no Sulfurion this time around, which is very, very odd, okay? I was 100% expecting to see Sulfurion on here, because they already know how much money they can milk with Sulfurion, to have Chagur on here, because he empowers Ramantu, right? Very surprised that none of these things... none of these champions are actually on this list. Most probably it's going to be over the weekend, guys. I'm very positive about it. But we do have Grazur Iron God. Now, I haven't used mine just yet. I actually summoned him randomly a few weeks ago, and I still haven't managed to build him and try him out. He's a pretty nice Hydra champion. He's not going to be great on the lower difficulties, only if you want to use him as a provoker and support rather than damage dealer, because enemy max HP is not very effective on normal or hard. But once you start moving on brutal and nightmare, you're going to start getting more value from this champion. And yes, enemy max HP are not the best anymore. You do have the raw damage dealers, which completely eclipse the power that enemy max HP champions have in Hydra, but he's still a very effective champion. Provoke, increase resistance, increase defense. You're getting healing, increase the duration of buffs. You have enemy max HP skill right there. The A1, again, is AoE, so he can definitely put in some serious work. Then we have a Diamant Copper Coin. Not the biggest fan of this new Void Legendary. I feel like the quality of all of these new Void Legendaries that are slowly being added to the game are just not as great. And I gotta agree, these reviews are fair play. Actually, very fair play. The A1 is AoE, you are getting healing. The A2 is AoE, increases the duration of all ally buffs, fills the champion's turn meter by 10, and fills the turn meter by an additional 5 for each buff that had its duration increased by this skill. The A3 places intercept stacks on a target ally, also places increased resistance and strengthen on all allies for 2 turns. This is not a bad skill, but it's just the rest of the kit that's a bit more underwhelming in my opinion. And this one right here is interesting. The passive has a 50% chance to convert a debuff into a buff before it is placed on this champion. Works with the following debuffs. Okay, so that's what you have. He doesn't really need the increase attack or increase crit rate or increase crit damage. It's just increase speed or increase defense that really helps the champion, you know? I feel like weaken strengthen would have been a better addition than the crit rate or the crit damage. But overall, yeah, ally speed in all battles by 20%. This is a champion that, if you get him from summoning on 2x, is fine. If you're planning to go on a 15x for him, you might be missing a wheel or something, you know? You might be missing a wheel because he's just not that great, and it's not worth the risk, basically. Then, on Wednesday, July 15, they're planning to launch another progressive chance event, guys. Of course, all of the 4 shards involved. Each one of these events will last for 24 hours, and we have Mishinaki. Mishinaki, very strong for Hydra clan boss. Just in general, a strong champion, guys. HP burn on the A1. Defense down, decrease attack on the A2 if the enemy is under hex. Attacks all enemies 2 times, places hex, and removes all buffs. The passive has a chance to join the ally attack, basically with the basic skill. Defense aura for all battles. He's a force to reckon with. He's a very, very strong champion. Then we have Kyoku. Again, I feel like for the last few months, she's been on so many 15x progressive chances that I kind of like lost the count. But she is a nice champion, though. I feel like most of the defense-based champions, they lost a bit of value, especially with the unkillable teams for clan boss. She's not very effective in the Hydra. Not for arena anymore. Don't get me wrong, you can 100% use her in arena in the lower tiers. You know, she's just not meta for arena. But either way, she's still a solid champion. Ally protection, block damage, extra turn, decrease attack, or HP burn. A1 can become a multi-hit and a chance to land weaken. The passive gives you a heal, gives you increased defense. So it's definitely a pretty solid one. I am using 2 of them in my Curse series stages. Some of them are just too tough, you know. Then we have Gnishak Vermin Lord. I'm seeing this bad boy in live arena sometimes in Gold 4. You know what? He can definitely be nasty if he manages to land the bombs, move to the extra turn. He does have some of the best multipliers out of all of the bomb champions. He was a fusion like a couple of years ago or so. Definitely not a bad champion. Definitely not a bad champion. I feel like he can be very effective in many different areas, PvE and PvP too. The only problem that you will have with him in most PvE content is that you're quickly going to fill up the debuff bar with poisons, which might stop you from landing a provoke or landing a decrease attack or a defense down or stuff like this. And that's mainly because of the passive and everything else that he does. But he's still a very effective champion. Then we have Vault Keeper Wixwell. Okay, so this is the first time I think we have him on the 15x since the fusion, or maybe it might be the second already. A lot of people hated on this champion. You know, he was the community champion that we voted for. I do think he's nice. I think you can do crazy things with him in Hydra. He's a powerhouse for progression, especially for clan boss. There are some crazy teams out there that will enable you to do 1 key with 3 rares, him and a damage dealer, which is very, very nice, you know. So 100% you can get tons of value from the champion. He was the very first one to introduce intercept into the game. Good for Hydra with Yannicka. So you do have quite a few different options for Mr. Wixwell right here. Then we have Raiho Bone Spear. Solid champion as well. I actually love my Raiho. I cannot wait to get a 6-star soul for her. I'm using her in the Sand Devil's Necropolis, Curse series stages. I'm using her in the Shogun. Overall, she's a very solid champion. She has one of the craziest skills right here with all of these debuffs. You know, like she brings a lot of debuffs. Healing, cleanse, block debuffs, continuous heals. The passive is very nice as well. Definitely a solid champion. I do have to say that for the last 6+ months to a year, I do feel that she dropped in value a little bit, and that's mainly because of power creep. It's just standard stuff in gacha games, guys. You know, but she is a very solid champion. Then we have everyone's favorite, Krisk, the Ageless. Very, very nasty champion. Super powerful for progression. Super powerful in endgame too, like for Hydra, Curse City, dungeons if you need someone to carry you. He's an absolute freaking beast, you know, like very, very strong champion. AoE decrease speed, ally protection, continuous healing, increases the duration of buffs, provoke, increase defense, increase speed, decrease attack, decrease defense, shield. Like, what else you want from a champion? Krisk does them all. This is the 15x progressive chance event for this CVC, guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you are tempted to go for any of the champions. If you are tempted, of course, to go for any of these desired soul summoning pools, there's a lot of RNG. And personally, I would strongly suggest you do not spend on this unless you're a Mega Kraken and you don't care about the advice, you know, basically. Most probably, next week, we might have a 2x on Soul Stones, or maybe the week after, so definitely stay tuned for that. Probably it's going to be the week after rather than next week during the next CVC. Let me know how are you guys preparing for the seat so far. Are you guys into it, or because the rewards are pretty underwhelming, you don't really care about it whatsoever for the moment? But as usual, guys, that was everything for this weekly kickoff. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Until next time, stay safe. Peace.